Good morning. This Monday, November 9th. The year is 2020. We're still waking up in total shock because Donald Trump has been voted out of the White House by a very slim margin on a tight, extremely tight race, which should have been a landslide, in my opinion, in Biden's favor. But he's out, although he has acknowledged it. He has not acknowledged it. Donald Trump, that is. And he's planning on filing all these court, lawsuits. Excuse me. Ooh, coffee's hot. So Donald Trump is filing all these lawsuits because he doesn't want to acknowledge. He doesn't want to acknowledge that the election is over and he lost. He doesn't want to acknowledge that, so he wants to continue to sue and sit up in court, and it's actually scary. I just remember 4 years ago when he won, and the total shock many of us had that Hillary Clinton had lost, which I believe Hillary Clinton was and would have been an excellent president in comparison to Donald Trump. But when Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump, I think it was a shock to everybody. But I had predicted that if Donald Trump won, the 4 years of Donald Trump, anyway, I had predicted that and you can go back and look at the video, I think it's still there, videos I did 4 years ago when he was elected. But I predicted that his presidency would be so horrible that black people would get up off their asses and get to work and get up off their behind and vote. And that's what they did this time. Because they realized you can have a president who's working so hard against you that it can leave you in a perilous type situation. Clearly, and y'all, let's just keep it real. If it was not for the coronavirus pandemic, more than likely Donald Trump would have sailed through and have been reelected. So we have to give props where it belongs. Give a little bit of applause to the coronavirus, COVID-19, coming in doing their part. Give him a little applause. Unfortunately, he had to kill 250 Americans along the way, and he ain't through killing folks too. But it was not for the coronavirus pandemic, I think we'd be stuck with Trump for another 4 years. Because it took something that severe to get some people to wake up and realize how ignorant this man. Every time Donald Trump opened his mouth, a lie came out. All this chaos and confusion with his followers, the people who supported him, they just could not see it for some reason. But they chose to ignore it or so. I couldn't figure it out. Why these people continue to ignore all the negativity that he was putting out. And everything that came out of his mouth, every time he tweeted, every day was something. So I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, okay, how are these people supporting this man? Why are they supporting him? And then to meet black people who support Trump, who were voting for Trump, was shocking to me. Like, okay, are you living in a parallel universe? Do you not see what this man is doing? Are you not acknowledging what type of person he is and the horrible stuff that he's doing to this country? And I was just trying to figure out, what did they see in Donald Trump that they felt they couldn't give me any positive stuff about Donald Trump. They can say all this negative stuff about Biden. I'm thinking, okay, Biden ain't in the White House right now. Nobody control anything. But Donald Trump is, and look at all the chaos and confusion, the rioting, the deaths from the pandemic, the situation with the police, that all this stuff was a direct result. Race relations went downhill. All this stuff was a direct result of Donald Trump being in the White House. And the policies and the rhetoric, the stuff that he said and did, and how it just created this intense issues with race relations in this country. How he just took gas and just dumped it on and inflamed it. I mean, we knew it was there. I knew it was there. I've known it was there forever. But that it was no longer hidden. It exploded out of the clouds and into the real world. For a lot of people were in shock. I wasn't up there. They finally showed who they really are. No, I was not shocked at all by the race relations. And I'll never forget when me and Earl moved into that house up there in Buckhead. And we moved into a predominantly white neighborhood in the city of Atlanta. Black mayor, black city council, white neighborhood, city of Atlanta. 100 white folks were not happy. They didn't come over there with a bundt cake and welcome us to the neighborhood. From the second I wrote that, signed that sales contract, them white folks they were not happy campers to see two young black, and I was about 30 at that time, moving into one of the most expensive houses in that neighborhood that they couldn't even afford. They didn't like it. They didn't like it. And for the time I started doing planting flowers, planting trees, putting up a fence, redoing the driveway, it was they had a problem after problem after problem after problem. They were not happy, and they let their disdain be known. And if I can go back to that 30, I'm about 20 years older now. But if I can go back, I probably would have slapped every person I walked up that driveway. I would have put a fence at the end of that driveway, 6 feet tall, so they couldn't get up that driveway. You grow older, you say, okay, I see how you demons work. The house is beautiful, well maintained, with nothing out of order. They just like the two niggas that was living there, just keeping it real. That's what they didn't like. And it's funny, because I rode through that neighborhood recently, and all I saw were Biden stickers. Biden. As far as I could see in that neighborhood we once lived in, which was over a decade ago. I know the neighborhood has changed drastically because gentrification has also affected those neighborhoods too. A lot of the houses that were in that neighborhood at the time when I lived, they got torn down, and you get these massive mansions there. It was Biden stickers and flags and posters and all over the neighborhood. And I was just curious to see how them people vote, but they were definitely Democrats in there. But some of the people were still there who harassed us. And I saw their Biden signs. I saw them. I drove by this one house in particular. I saw her. She's in her yard. She didn't see me, but I saw her. And she was up there. She was actually moving her Biden sign around, moving around a pumpkin display. Evil white hezzy. Their hearts don't change, no matter who they vote for. Because like I said, even before we moved in the neighborhood, this particular white woman came up to me. The one I'm talking about was moving her Biden sign around her pumpkin display, beautiful pumpkin display on her beautiful house. Before we even moved a box into the house, I didn't even close on the home. She came behind. I was meeting with the pool guy, the pool contractor, which I had worked on many pools. We had built many pools on many homes, and he was saying we would meet and measure out the backyard, get the survey, figure out where we're going to place the pool, and try to figure out how we're going to place the pool. And she came up to me, and all she said was, "Are you going to cut your grass?" And we're standing there like, she didn't say hello, and where are you from, and how are you, and my name is Betsy, blah, blah, or I'm Karen, or that. None of that. Are you going to cut your grass? And this kind of threw me because I'm looking at the grass like the grass is all nice and cut, and the guy, the contractor, I looked at him, and that's when he looked at me. He just kind of walked away because he knew exactly what she was asking about. And I turned to her and I said, "What am I going to cut my grass?" I said, "Ma'am, why are you asking about this grass? This grass is cut." She said, "Well, are you going to cut your grass when you buy this house?" I said, "Ma'am, I've been cutting the grass at every house I've ever owned since I was a teenager." And I said, we were in the middle of something. I said, "Let me get rid of this house. I don't know who she is. She done ran up here. She done came through the front door. The doors were open in the house. I walked her right back through that door and in out of that and walked out that front door and slammed that damn door. I went on about my damn business." But I was not to be done with her because she was going to let it. That woman let it be known that she was going to come over there anytime she wanted to and knock on that door about something that she didn't like. It all accumulated one day. This massive tree in the front yard died. If the tree had fell on my neighbor's house, it would have destroyed his house. So we went out there working in the yard, and one of my yard guys said, "Man, that tree is dead. You need to get that tree down." I looked, shit, the damn tree is dead. And it was literally dead. So I had to go get a permit from the horticulture department, bring out an art, whatever these people are, the arborist or whatever. He looks at the tree, says the tree is dead. He gives me the permit. I pay for the permit, tells me to go downtown, pay for the permit, and post it in my window. I paid for the permit. It's a process. It didn't happen. And it took a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks. But I was trying to hurry because I didn't want a storm to come through and topple that tree over my neighbor's house. Including the tree was dead. So, we have the permit in place. I have everything in order. That Saturday morning, the tree company shows up with the crane, a bunch of workers. They're going to remove the tree and take all the debris away. And I got up and said, well, I'm going to need some breakfast. I got dressed, left down the driveway, got my car. They were there with the tree. The girls were inside cleaning the house. And I went and got some breakfast over at the original pancake house right around the corner. I finally get a table. I'm sitting there eating. And then I get a phone call. You need to hurry here. Hurry back. The guy, the contractor who was cutting the tree down was like, you have to hurry and get back over here. Something going on. The police are here and blah, blah, blah. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, shit, this tree done fell on this man's house. Something drastic can happen over here. He said, how far away are you? I'm like, I'm right around the corner. So I told the waitress who knew yesterday, I had to get back to this house. I got my tree removed, something that happened. Boxed this stuff up and we go home. And we boxed up the stuff, jumped up and threw the stuff in the car. We take off and we get around the corner. We're literally 5 minutes from the house. We pull up, there's a big crowd of people. The tree is still standing and all these police over here. So I'm like, okay, what is going on here? Because the tree is standing. They removed a few branches. The police are here and all these white folks are standing up here at the driveway. So I waited the police officer, and the officer told me to go ahead and go down the driveway. So I drove on down the driveway, and as I was getting out the car to come up, he said, he walked me through, do you have a permit to take down the tree? I said, yeah, it's right there in my window. He said, oh, it is there. He said, may I see it? I said, okay. He said, okay. So I pulled him to the driveway, back of the house, let him in, came to the front door, showed him the permit. I took the permit down and showed it to him, and he told me, this is what he told me, stay here, let me handle this. He said, please. It was a white officer. And I don't know what the fuck is going on. I still hadn't spoke to nobody. There was a crowd of white folks and they was pissed. They was out there mad. Yeah, they were mad. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Over a dead-ass tree. So I'm in the house, and Earl's in the house, and Earl wanted to go out there. But I said, nah, and I'm looking out the window at this large group of people who have, and it's getting bigger. The crowd's growing. They calling in the reinforcements, the neighborhood community, the homeowners association, and this person and that person. So I'm like, so he takes the permit and he walks up the driveway. And they gather around. He's talking to him and talking to him and talking to him and talking to him. They had this for a long time. It's not I was going to walk down the driveway. And he sees me coming. He walks back up. He says, just go back in the house. Give me a few more minutes. We're almost done. I'm just waiting for the arborist, the guy who gave me the permit to arrive. I said, on Saturday, he's coming. He said, well, we called him, and he said he's on his way over here. White folks didn't believe the tree was dead. He's not even wrong with that tree. The tree is dead as a doorknob. It had some type of fungus that was killing the tree. So certain portions of the tree was alive, but the fungus was going to spread throughout the whole tree and kill the damn tree. In fact, I'm looking at a tree right outside this window right now that's going through the same process. They're going to remove this tree. So that's why I hate these old raggedy ass houses, because to take that tree down was costing me $10,000, $10,000. It was a massive tree that had to come down, and then they had to grind the stump. Now in the 10 grand, that's not included in the 10 grand. I had to bring somebody else in and do that mess. Y'all had it raggedy ass houses. So anyway, I was sitting there waiting, and then a Jeep pulls up. This arborist, the guy from the city of Atlanta, he pulls in and jumped out the car. He walks the crowd of people over to the tree. Now they on my property now. First they were way out in the street. Now they over the property. He done brought them all over to they can discuss the science of a dead fucking tree. I never forgot this. Because I'm sitting in the house at this point. I done made me some coffee. And I'm sitting there drinking my coffee. The girls are cleaning now. Everybody's just, this circus is going on about this dead ass fucking tree outside this house. It's a circus of people. Police, the traffic's out of stop, cars everywhere. And they all over there standing at this dead ass tree. And he's trying to explain to them, this is why this tree has to come down. He showed him the roots. He showed him this. He showed him that. And I'm sitting out there looking at, of course, I haven't went out there because I know I was going to cuss them motherfuckers out. This is when I was pissed. Because this tree should have been gone. These Hispanics would have been halfway done with this. We're now hours into this. And we're trying to please these people. This tree is on private property. Mind your fucking business. White folks. When the black face out there, it's all white people. All white people. This point, they got officers out there directing traffic. I'm like, it's been early laughing, but I was hot. I was pissed. And so finally, they get the all clear. Everybody's happy. Do you think the white publicist came up and said, we apologize for our behavior? They stormed back up the driveway, still gathered out there. Then the officer came in and said, everything's fine. And then the officer said, thank you for allowing me to handle that. I really do appreciate that because I didn't want this thing to really explode. I said, I'll let you handle it. We're going to explode. He was like, thank you. And he was just like, he never knew. His sergeant was out there. I mean, all these superiors, Atlanta police, they didn't brought in the housing inspector, the tree companies being scrutinized so they had a proper permits and stuff. Them white folks was, now had I been a white guy, had I not had this little glorious mocha warm chocolate skin you see glowing in the sunlight, when I had been a white guy, I don't think I would have had those issues. I know for a fact I would not have had those issues. But because I was sitting over there, gloriously tan, the way God made me, God, you don't know I don't because you know I bullshit right there. God don't exist. The way I came out of my mama's womb, it's blue, glorious skin tone. They didn't like it. They didn't trust me, and thought I was a fool. And surely this tree couldn't be dead. So the tree was proceeded to take him down. But that was one of the many battles I had with my neighbors over there. Because they were always constantly in my business. I keep telling y'all, we went way out in the suburbs. We were in Buckhead, in the city of Atlanta, 5 minutes from Midtown, 5 minutes from Lenox Mall, and mayor of Atlanta. In fact, there was a judge that lived on my street. He was a city of Atlanta magistrate court judge, and I spoke to him about that incident. Because he was trying to figure out what the hell was going on over there, over this damn tree. It's just crazy. But anyway, well, we went out in no suburban area. We was city of Atlanta. City of Atlanta. I would sometimes see the white folks when I went to go vote, which was right around the corner. There was never a warm welcome. We were in that house for a decade, 10 years. 10 years. You think the white folks ever came over there and warm welcome us to the neighborhood? Hell fucking no. Only knew one neighbor's name. That was Murphy, guy lived next door to me. Only knew him because he owned a restaurant in Virginia Highlands, Murphy's Restaurant. I didn't know any of these other people. I knew where they worked at from talking to the mail lady. She was a black girl. She was dealing with mail. She kept in the mailbox and she gave me all the dirt. So this person, that person, that person, that person, that person. I said, oh, all CEOs and own this and own that and own all kinds of shit over there. I said, oh, no wonder. She's like, do you know where you living at? She own, they own this, they own that, they own that. The mail lady, she knew because she'd been giving the motherfuckers mail for the past decades. And she said, when she first saw me, she said, welcome to the neighborhood. She was the only person, that black mail lady from the U.S. Postal Service, the only person ever said, welcome to the neighborhood. But she said, but she did warn me. She said, you can have your hands full over here with these old white folks. And they were a bunch of old white folks. Most of the white folks are gone now because their homes have been torn down. Gentrification swings both ways. They just don't go after black folks. Them older white folks have been in houses for years, raised their children in 60-style ranches. Those ranches set on acre lots, and the lots would be in the house would being torn down and subdivided into many houses. And they were getting, losing their homes because the taxes were skyrocketing on those homes. Maybe they couldn't afford it no more. Maybe they just didn't want to be there no more. Or maybe the neighborhood was changing so drastically. More families coming in, more children, more cars, more homes. Their homes were dated, and here was an opportunity they could cash out. Gentrification swings both ways. The gentrification just doesn't go after black folks. That neighborhood was gentrifying. But it was removing people who had been in that neighborhood since the 60s, who had built them houses back in the 60s and the 70s. And now, it was in the 2000s, the lots alone were worth so much money that their houses. Now you go to that neighborhood, Pine Hills, you can't even recognize it. Only because I've been dealing with Pine. We bought that house in 2001. Spring of 2001, way before September 11th. If I had known what I know now, I'd waited. But anyway, that neighborhood has completely changed in the past 20-something odd years. And we've even looked at, we had several other homes in that same neighborhood that we ended up selling. some investment properties, but y'all had more raggedy houses. I know people love real estate. I've had my share of real estate. That's a bad taste in my mouth. I only want to own one more house, and it better be beachfront somewhere down there in Florida. Hopefully not in a hurricane zone. Because if a hurricane knocked that sucker down, I'm going to say, God damn, I guess I could be out of this house either. No, I just want a beachfront home, someplace far away from racist white folks and crazy deadly niggas. It's a dream. Out in the woods someplace, but on the beach. To be honest with y'all, I've spent so much of my time looking online at homes out of the country. But I think that might be my best bet. Maybe time for me to begin. I'm 50 years of age. As I get older, I don't really need to see America no more. I would like to live someplace else. Someplace where I just find that when I travel and get out of the United States, I'm more welcome. And it could be because I'm just a traveler there trying to live in these places. I've found places to be more welcoming to people of color in other places. I could be, I don't plan on living the rest of my life in the USA. Although I wouldn't mind living down in Miami for a little while. Somewhere on the beach in Miami by myself. I know that shit high there down in Miami. But anyway, Donald Trump's reign of terror has finally come to an end. I think we are all grateful for that. It's been a rough 4 years. It has been literally a rough 4 years. And I am grateful that Donald Trump is not out of office. I know he's fighting tooth and nail. He's over there, he's going to sue, and he's going to take it to the Supreme Court. He's going to do everything he can to try to hold on to his precious little power. King Trump. But it's over with. He lost. And he lost because he couldn't shut his fucking mouth. He lost because he was just doing stupid, saying and doing stupid things that harm himself. The only person he can blame for not being reelected is his damn self on the coronavirus, because he did not handle that appropriately at all. Good news today. I see they did find something about a vaccine or something. Good luck with that. They said vaccine's coming. It's going to be good. Okay, all right, well. We shall see if this vaccine is safe and effective. But they said they got something. Some company came out just today. So y'all might want to Google coronavirus vaccine safe. See what it says. They said they have something that's 80% something. I don't know. I'll glance at the article before I do this video. I will read it later on. But the other vaccine they say is coming, which I didn't think they'd ever come up with a vaccine. But who knows? Let's see what happens. But anyway, I'm about to get out of here, finish drinking me some coffee. Today is Monday, November 9th, the year is 2020. Oh yeah, here it is. U.S. stocks surged at the opening bell, with the Dow up 1,600 points after Pfizer reported COVID vaccine news and Biden was declared the winner. So it's good news for now. Biden's the winner. We have a president, new president. COVID-19 vaccine. Let's see what happens going forward. Maybe 2021 will be a successful year. Maybe we will defeat the coronavirus and Donald Trump's dumb ass and proceed forward. Maybe we just wipe 2020 from our memories. I know, I want to know. It was not a great year at all. At all. Woo! The year I turned 50. I just want to just pretend it didn't exist. Anyway, I'm out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, November 9th, 2020. I'm out of here. Enjoy your day.